Hi, I'm Whitney Tawney, Executive Director for Montana Conservation Voters, and when I think about campfires, I think about hard work, family, and burned hot dogs. Because I grew up as a feral kid in Patty Canyon on 30 acres just outside of Missoula, and every year one of our chores was to gather up all the down logs, all the extra brush, all the things that we saw, and burn it. And we would do this to help protect us for any wildfires that might be coming the next year. And we did it also with our neighbors who happened to be our family members. And at the end of the hard work, we'd all sit around the circle as a campfire, tell stories, and of hot dogs, which hot dogs were such a big thing because we weren't allowed to have processed food growing up. And I just remember that as one of my favorite things. And of course, I love a burned campfire hot dog just as much as I love a burned s'more. So cheers to you, thanks for being here tonight, and we look forward to telling you more.
Hi everyone, my name is Matt Willey. I am the Field Director for Montana Conservation Voters. When I think about campfires, the first thing I think about is community. It's the very first thing that comes to mind. At the end of a long day, or at the end of a long hike, it's a place where you come back to and people are able to get together and talk about all the things they shared that day, or resolve some of the problems they may have had out on the trail or out on the water. Campfires are where you build friendships, it's where you bring people together, and it's where you find out what people really care about. People get really honest about things, they share things maybe they shouldn't, and they share things that are deeply personal. So campfires hold a really deep and meaningful place in my heart. There's something I think about as the leaves start to change and the weather cools down, and it's a time-honored tradition that I just cannot get enough of, and it's something that I hope to have many more of this fall and the many falls to come. And we hope you join us as we kick off our Campfires for Conservation. And I'm just happy to be along for the ride, and I hope to see you around a campfire soon. Thanks.
Hey, my name is Jake Brown. I'm the Political Director at Montana Conservation Voters. My favorite campfire memory is probably having a fire along the South Fork of the Flathead River in the Bob Marshall. After spending a few days backpacking in and meeting a couple of packers who had our rafts, we spent about 4 days floating down the South Fork, catching a ton of fish, having good times, and sitting around campfires talking about why Montana is so special and great.
Hi, I'm Kristen Cordingley, Program Director for Montana Conservation Voters. I'm so happy to be here today talking about Campfires for Conservation. Growing up, we went camping a ton and, kind of was always the highlight of the summer. I remember one year my grandparents went with us, and my grandfather, who was usually pretty reserved and quiet, played kind of a storytelling game with my sister and me, and it was so much fun and just kind of really stood out as a wonderful time in my childhood. And then earlier this summer, we took my niece, who was about 4 months at the time, on her first camping trip, and she was delighted with the fire and so excited, and just kind of made for a magical evening. I think campfires are that way. It brings together all sorts of people and families from big to small and old to young. So really, really excited to be here, and thanks so much.
Hey everybody, Angela Swatek, MCV's Development Director, back here at the Scratch Gravel Hills in Helena. And my favorite campfire memory, one of my more recent campfire experiences is at my dad's lake cabin. Every Labor Day weekend, they go down to the beach. It's a big lake, and they build a gigantic campfire on the beach. We're talking like 10 feet tall, really sturdy pile of wood, and whoever lights it is like an honor, whoever lights it, and then for the rest of the night, people just sit around it, eat and drink and hang out. And everybody around the whole lake, on all the beaches, build a campfire just like it. And if you look out, you can see all the fires around the lake, and they call it the Ring of Fire. One time I remember somebody playing the Johnny Cash song during the night, so it's a pretty special experience and definitely one of my favorite. Thanks.